Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Sammā Sambuddhassa. Honor to him, the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the fully self-enlightened One. My utmost respect to the perfectly enlightened Sammā Sambuddha, the noble doctrine of the Buddha and the noble Mahasangha, the disciples of the Buddha. Hello, dear Dhamma friends. Welcome to the week number 19 of our Special Dhamma series. Under this weekly Dhamma Talk series, we will cover up some really important topics on Theravada Buddhism to help benefit our community around the world. I certainly believe this effort by Dhamma USA is going to open up more horizon of Dhamma knowledge among our community. We are so delighted to have Venerable Bhante Sumitta as our guest speaker today, and I'm confident that he is capable Sri Lankan monk who has been amply trained with both Dhamma knowledge and practice. Dear Dhamma friends, please mark your calendar every Sunday at 7:30 a.m. Pacific Time, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, and 8 p.m. Sri Lankan time to get more benefit. Kindly check with Dhamma USA YouTube channel and Facebook page and Facebook groups for more updates. Bhante Sumitta is a traditionally trained Buddhist monk from Sri Lanka and vastly experienced in the subject for over 40 years and has a lot of exposure in the fields of Dhamma talks, meditation programs, Pali chanting, Pali language teaching, spiritual care, and social wellness activities in and outside of the U.S. Bhante Sumitta is currently the founder of Dhamma USA, a California-based spiritual care and community care services. For more information, please visit www.dhammausa.org and other social media networks. I'm pretty sure you are all going to enjoy this topic today, that is comparative study on meditation methods. Kindly post your questions in the comment sections of Dhamma USA YouTube channel so that we can answer them at the end of the talk. Without further ado, let me invite Venerable Bhante Sumitta to start his Dhamma talk.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Sammā Sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Sammā Sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Sammā Sambuddhassa. Honor to him, the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the fully enlightened One. My utmost respect to the perfectly enlightened Sammā Sambuddha, the noble doctrine of the Buddha, and the noble Mahasangha, the disciples of the Buddha. Hello everyone, good morning and good evening to all of you. When we have our final goal as the Nibbana, so we have some things to do to attain that Nibbana. That is the Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami and Arahanta. These are called Maggapalas. And in order to attain these Maggapalas, we have to also get rid of certain defilements. And some of the things that we need to take care of is Sakkaya Diṭṭhi, Vicikicca, Silabbata Paramasa. That is the first barrier that we have, how to attain the Sotapanna. If we get rid of this Sakkaya Diṭṭhi, that is the self-identity, that I think this body is mine, you think your body is yours. And along with that, we get so many difficulties, so many hindrances. Because of that, we are connected to this samsara. And then we also have Vicikicca, all kinds of doubts, whether this is correct, that is correct, whether I was in the past or will I be born in the future. And that way also we are going to be having so many doubts, so many difficulties, so many complications, confusions. And then also we have the problem of getting rid of these all kinds of rites and rituals. We think if I do this thing, I should be fine. And in the Buddha's day also there were a lot of people, they were trying so many different ways. We don't really want to um, gi- judge people for experimenting whatever they do, but I think it is important if we can. Like what we did was an amazing thing. What they did was also kind of trying. Um, so eventually, the Buddha found the right path, middle path, and Buddha explained about how important it is to get rid of some of these rites and rituals that are not necessarily leading us to the Nibbana. And um, among Buddhist people community too, we also can see how we are also trying to follow some of those rites and rituals which are not necessarily leading us to the Nibbana. So I want to bring to you a kind attention regarding this. If you want to attain Nibbana, we also have to get rid of those rites and rituals which are not necessarily leading us to the Nibbana. But there can be some, we don't say no, there can be some that can be very helpful, especially when you are in difficult situations. Some of those rites and rituals can be helpful. Remember, um, we we have to eventually get rid of uh, these rites and rituals. Okay, so today's topic is again a very powerful way that we can all get rid of those difficulties or those defilements, and we can actually trigger the right view. Right view was selected as the topic today because right view can be very helpful to all of us to walk along the path. There are 8 noble paths. We know Noble Eightfold Path. And the first step of the Noble Eightfold Path is the right view, Sammā Diṭṭhi. So I thought Sammā Diṭṭhi, if we talk about Sammā Diṭṭhi, that will help us trigger, um, generate the right view for us. In many suttas, we talk about the Sammā Diṭṭhi, and we have Sammā Diṭṭhi as a um, we have Sammā Diṭṭhi. When we talk about Sammā Diṭṭhi, we can see how important it is when we talk about the Sammā Diṭṭhi, that we can actually get rid of some of the um, um, we can actually open up the right way. So one time, Venerable Sariputta, when he was living in um, Savatthi, Jetavana monastery, he talked about this. He gave a very beautiful explanation how to trigger right view. So today I want to talk about what Venerable Sariputta explained in Savatthi Jetavana monastery in front of a large gathering of Mahasangha members. And in this sutta, right view is normally right view is explained in terms of the Four Noble Truths. But in this sutta, Venerable Sariputta expand the discussion. Right view that underlies the structure of the Four Noble Truths. So, of course, it is about the Four Noble Truths, but there are more ways than one to understand the Four Noble Truths, and through that also to generate, to trigger a right view. There are 16 types of right view in this sutta. Skillful and unskillful actions, that is called kusala mula and akusala mula, and fourfold nutriments, what we call ahara, and then suffering, cause of suffering, cessation of suffering, path leading to the cessation of suffering, what we call in Pali dukkha, samudaya, nirodha, and magga. An analysis of dependent co-arising or dependent origination is also explained there beautifully in this sutta. I really like that connectivity here with the Four Noble Truths and also the dependent origination, two of the most powerful teachings of the Buddha Dhamma, the core teachings of the Buddha Dhamma. Now these two are beautifully connected in this sutta. It is actually explained here in the reverse order, starting with decay and death, jara marana, birth, jati, existence, bhava, clinging, upadana, craving, tanha, and feeling, vedana, contact, phassa, six faculties, salayatana, name and form, nama rupa, consciousness, vijnana, formations, sankhara, ignorance, avijja, and one more, number 16, taints or asava. We also call it kanka. And these things are explained in the sutta. And so, this sutta, as Venerable Sariputta was in the assembly, he asked a question from the monk. Sammā Diṭṭhi Avuso Vucchati Kittavatanukho Avuso Arya Savako Sammā Diṭṭhi Hoti. Ujugata asa diṭṭhi dhamme avecca pasadena samanagato agato imang saddhang mangti. One of the right view, right view. It is said, friends. In what way is a noble disciple one of right view? Whose view is straight? Who has unwavering confidence in the Dhamma and has arrived at this true Dhamma? So this was a question Venerable Sariputta asked. In what way is a noble disciple of right view? Whose view is straight? Who has unwavering confidence in the Dhamma and has arrived at this true Dhamma? So we need to remember this. If you want to have the right view, if you want to have the view that is straight, and if your view is straight, if your view is very clear, and also if you have unwavering confidence in the Dhamma, and can you be confident with yourself that you have arrived at this true Dhamma? That will be so wonderful an achievement we all can have. And if we can generate, if we can trigger this right view, I'm sure we can all have this confidence. You will have the right view, your view will be straight, and you will have unwavering confidence in the Dhamma. And also, you have arrived at this true Dhamma. So I certainly pray and wish and hope that all of you, maybe at least some of you, could generate a right view through this. Maybe you can think of this right view in a different manner somehow. Let's see if you can, if you are lucky enough. And Venerable Sariputta asked this question from the monks. And when the monks said, Venerable Sariputta, we came all the way from all different corners of the country to listen to you. We know exactly how powerful you are in explaining the Dhamma. Buddha has explained about you so much to us. You are like a mother. You are the one who can establish someone in the Sotapanna state. And so we all came um, to learn about Dhamma from you. And we will be so happy, we will be delighted to listen to your Dhamma talk, Venerable Sir Sariputta. We would like to get that right view explained in detail from you. Venerable Sariputta is someone who is so powerful in teaching the Dhamma. Venerable Sariputta's teaching the Dhamma is so important to all of us. Venerable Sariputta could explain so many things in detail, and no one ever, except the Buddha, had that capacity to teach the Dhamma just like Venerable Sariputta. So Venerable Sariputta could explain in detail. This is the most important thing. And Venerable Sariputta could establish someone in the Sotapanna state, first stream entry stage, which is really a hard one because Buddha said Venerable Moggallana could establish other people, other Arya Savakas, noble disciples in the rest of the stages. But Venerable Sariputta is the one who could lead someone to Sotapanna state. Maybe some of you might think why Venerable Sariputta is just the first stage, and Venerable Moggallana is capable of leading us to the rest of the stages, spiritual goal, because the first stage is the most difficult one. First stage is so powerful, so difficult, and we have been traversing in this samsara for such a long time, my Dhamma friends. And we are still trying to figure out how to get rid of this. We are all trapped in this whirlpool of samsara. How to decode this, how to get rid of this samsaric circle. We are all trying to find a way. So, Venerable Sariputta is the one who could do that apart from the Buddha better than others. And therefore the first step is always important. First stage is always more helpful and useful. Once you are in the stream entry, you have entered the stream, and your destination is pretty much fixed, pretty much confident and certain. So Venerable Moggallana had little things to do. Venerable Sariputta had more energy, more power, more capacity to help us in opening our Sotapanna. That is why Venerable Sariputta is um, appreciated by the Buddha as someone who can lead us to the Sotapanna. Okay, so in the sutta, when the monks asked Venerable Sariputta to explain about this one, and Venerable Sariputta say, okay, tena hi auso sunatha sadhukang manasikarota bhasissamiti. Then, friends, listen and attend closely to what I shall say. The monks were very keen to listen to Venerable Sariputta's words. So I also would like to invite all of you, please listen to this carefully, and hopefully you will be able to learn the Dhamma, trigger the right view right here, right now. I wish and pray that you could do it. So the first one, Venerable Sariputta says, when friends, a noble disciple understands the unwholesome and the root of the unwholesome, the wholesome and the root of the unwholesome, in that way he is one of right view, whose view is straight, who has unwavering confidence in the Dhamma, and has arrived at this true Dhamma. And what, friends, is the unwholesome? What is the root of the unwholesome? What is the wholesome? What is the root of the wholesome? So now you can also see whenever Sariputta is explaining the um, Dasa Akusala Kamma and Dasa Kusala Kamma, the root of the wholesome and the root of the unwholesome. And in this way, it is also connected to the Four Noble Truths. So when, friends, a noble disciple understands the unwholesome, that is the akusala, root of the unwholesome. So we also have some roots. Okay, unwholesome here are the 10 unwholesome deeds, 10 unwholesome actions, which I'm going to explain in a while. And the root of the unwholesome is the lobha dosa moha, greed, ill will, and ignorance. Wholesome is the opposite of unwholesome. Abstain from those unwholesome activities, akusala kammas, and then it becomes kusala kamma. So, dasa akusala kamma, abstain from dasa akusala kamma, to 10 unwholesome deeds will be the kusala kamma, or wholesome deeds. And then the root of the unwholesome would be the opposite of root of the unwholesome. So, root of the unwholesome is greed, lobha dosa moha. The root of the wholesome is alobha dosa amoha. That is um, generosity, opposite of greedy feelings. And then second one is um, loving kindness, or non ill will. And then the third one is wisdom, or non ignorance. So these are the root of the unwholesome. If someone tries to find these things through this way also, someone can be of right view. If you are very serious about triggering your right view, we need to very seriously think of these 10 wholesome and unwholesome deeds, and then we can be of right view. Dasa kusala and dasa akusala karma, 10 wholesome and 10 unwholesome deeds can trigger right view in us. Whose view is straight, then our view can be very clear, very straight. Unwavering confidence in the Dhamma, we will have unwavering confidence in the Dhamma, no doubt. And then also we have arrived at this true Dhamma. When you are in the true Dhamma, you know exactly what the true Buddha Dhamma is all about. So this is why it is important to learn the Dhamma. Yeah, so he talks about these 10 unwholesome deeds. And what are those 10 unwholesome deeds? I think many of you know about this. We have three sense doors to commit unwholesome deeds or wholesome deeds. One, bodily, and two, verbally, and then three, mentally. And if we can take care of these three sense doors, we can actually take care of the entire activity, entire sansaric order. So bodily misconduct, we have three bodily misconduct. So three akusala kammas. One, killing living beings is unwholesome. Taking what is not given is unwholesome. Misconduct in sensual pleasures is unwholesome. So these are the three bodily misconducts. If you pay respect to yourself, to your own life, and also to the life of the others, you be respectful to others, and you will also be respected by the others. You take care of others, you help others, you will also be helped by the others. So your life will be pretty much secured, insured, when you actually do not harm others. So not killing, in return, you will also be harmed, hurt, and killed even by the others. It is said like those people who have guns will also have a problem because the other people will be scared, and therefore they will also try to kill you, or they will try to harm you. That is why those people without guns or without arm, without weapons, they will be fine. Mostly people, if someone has a gun, they are in trouble. They are they are not like secure. Let's say if someone has taken arms, weapons, and they are dealing with these things, they are hurting others or do something like that. Do you think they can walk in the streets just like any of us? No, they can't. They need guns all the time. They need some bodyguards all the time. So they are also living with fear. They are living with suspicion. They are not secure. Everywhere they go, they are scared. They um, they even can't sleep properly, peacefully, like just like any of us. They are always in trouble. So killing living beings is unwholesome. Taking what is not given is also unwholesome. Misconduct in the sensual pleasures is also unwholesome. So taking what is not given is, you have to be respectful to the others. If you are others' properties, you are respectful to the other's life. That is the first precept. And the second precept is, you are respectful to the other's property. Those people have done so much hard work to earn their property, to build their house, and all these things happen, and we have no right to um, take them away, um, to deny their comfort. And if we do that, you will also in return be in trouble. Your property will not be respected. Your property will not be insured. That is why we need to respect others' property. And the third precept is misconduct in sensual pleasures, and that is something like the family life, others' family life. You respect others' family life, then your family life will be respected. And you have family, so you take care of that, and you have respect towards your family, and you have also respect towards the other family. Then the entire community will be respectful to you and your family, because you are very loyal, very sincere, very honest. They will be very happy to take care of you. If there is something, people will also defend you. The other good friends will defend you. Or don't say about that, don't say bad about them. They are very good, we know them very well. They are also practicing this third precept. Sensual pleasures can also be related to other things, but if we take it as the um, kame sumichachara, that can also be sexual misconduct. Or if you talk about the sensual pleasures, that can be through these six sense doors. What we do, we also have to take care of those six sense doors. That will be a little bit more advanced practice. So these three things are the bodily misconduct, unwholesome, akusala. And then we have uh, four verbal misconduct. For speech is unwholesome, malicious speech is unwholesome, harsh speech is unwholesome, and gossip is unwholesome. So um, people some people have the tendency to tell lies. Once you tell one lie, there will be no ending. You will continue to tell lies, and so you will, that is not true. What you say is not true. So intentionally you falsify the truth. So you make it untrue. That is false speech. That is unwholesome, definitely. When you talk the musavada, when you tell the wrong things, that will always be very harmful to you. And not only to you, your family, everyone. everyone around. So if you keep telling lies, you will have the habit of telling lies. So you will be in trouble. There is a story that there was one cowherd, and he was taking the cows to the jungle, and then one day, and that area is prone, like populated by the tigers too. So when in the jungle, this young boy, he thought of cheating. He thought of actually having fun by telling a lie. So one day he screamed so loud and said, help me, the tiger is here." So people already knew that there are tigers in that area. So the villagers, they took arms and weapons and whatever they could find. So they ran to the boy, and then this boy was laughing at them. "Oh, you were fooled by me." And then people were very upset, and they went back. And then another day, actually, the real tiger came, and that time he again he screamed even more louder. And what happened? People did not respond. People did not believe him. People thought, "Oh, this boy is again doing the same drama, acting the same drama, and we are not going to be fooled anymore." So he was killed by the tiger. So for speech, if you keep lying, if you keep telling lies, the other people will not trust you. When you don't have trust, then you will be in trouble. Malicious speech is so bad again. Malicious speech. So musawada, we call it pisunavacha. Like when you see some people, two friends, let's say, like you don't like their, you feel jealous of their beautiful friendship, and then you tell this and that to the two parties, and the two beautiful friends, they separated by listening to you because you use malicious speech to separate them. That bad intention is so horrible. That should never be done. This pisuna vacha, we should try, instead we should try to unite the separated friends. If there are united friends, you should appreciate them. Just like Venerable Sariputta and Moggallana, they were wonderful Kalyana Mitta friends. All the time they were fulfilling paramitas together. They were helping so many people around, and also they had trust each other mutually, helpful, and very wonderful friends. There are some friends who trust each other so much, and you can't even use malicious speech to separate them. But there can be other cases where people, like in Angulimala's case, for example, Angulimala's classmates, they were trying to use malicious speech with his teacher, and the teacher believed him, because believed the other students. So eventually, Angulimala was punished by the teacher. So malicious speech can be used to harm so many other people. You might be having a sadistic pleasure by doing that, but that is not correct. That is very, very wrong. That can harm other people, but that can also come to you in return in so many bad ways. Harsh speech. Harsh speech is called parusavacha. Do not harm others by using harsh speech. You might say, like some harsh speech to people, your friends, maybe your parents, maybe your employees, maybe whosoever. If you use harsh speech to hurt other people, that is definitely unwholesome. This can be like really cruel when people use harsh speech. Sometimes they use harsh speech to maybe suppress the other people. So maybe there are some innocent people, and so in order to suppress them, you might use harsh speech in public. People don't want to be, use the harsh speech against you. Then you feel very embarrassing, and some people do that. They have that inferiority complex, so they just try to suppress other people by using all kinds of harsh speech, all kinds of dirty words, which is not correct. Again, this is unwholesome, because you hurt other people, and they might be suffering. They feel miserable when you do that. So do not use harsh speech. You have to actually practice not to use those harsh speech. Some of those dirty words, you should never use those dirty words in your life. Gossip, again, is unwholesome. Gossip can be like meaningless, worthless speeches. There are many different kinds of gossip that is explained in many suttas, like in the Brahmajala Sutta. I remember in Mahanidesa and many other places also. There are 32 kinds of um, frivolous, frivolous speech that we should avoid. Unnecessary things that are not leading you to the Nibbana. So the Buddha said the best way is to practice noble silence. If you are in an assembly, you are with a lot of friends, um, don't try to engage in these unnecessary verbal misconduct. That way you will also generate so much bad karma. And see now, when you practice this verbal misconduct and bodily misconduct, how when you know this thing and you can abstain from these things, how you can actually trigger Sammā Diṭṭhi, right view. You will do that. You will be able to do that if you practice this, if you abstain from this thing. Okay, and then we'll go to um, mental level misconduct. There are three unwholesome akusala karmas that we conduct through the mind. Um, that is covetousness is unwholesome, ill will is unwholesome, wrong view is unwholesome. Again, wrong view, that is complete opposite of today's topic. That is right view. So we need to get rid of this covetousness. Covetousness is something that you think of other people's property, you want to earn, you want to possess them. That is something really unwholesome. Ill will, again, is completely opposite of loving kindness, compassion. So it is also unwholesome. With this covetousness, you could do so many things, because you want to possess the other's properties, and then you could do steal, you could even engage in killing, harming other people, you could even engaging in telling lies, and also maybe taking drinks and drugs that cause intoxication or heedlessness. So you see, covetousness can lead to break other precepts too. Ill will also will be the same. When you have ill will, you might harm others, you might steal other people's stuff, and you might also engage in sexual misconduct or sensual misconduct. You might also tell lies and um, do all these for speech, malicious speech, harsh speech, and gossip. You might do that because of you are so much overwhelmed with ill will. And also, with the ill will, you might also take drinks and drugs that cause intoxication or heedlessness. So again, this ill will thing is a very wrong thing. And then wrong view. When our view is wrong, everything will be in trouble. Your whole life journey will be in trouble when you have ill will. when you have wrong view. I would like to say, like, you have when you have the um, in your cars, you have the map, or the map will help you get you to the final destination very easily, right? But when that navigation is wrong, or when you put the wrong input or wrong address, you will be going all the way around, and without the right navigation, you will take many exits, and you don't know, you will go many roundabout ways to um, reach your destination. So it's very important that you actually work with this, uh, get rid of this wrong view. Wrong view is um, not knowing the true Dhamma, not knowing the Four Noble Truths. That is unwholesome. Okay, so Venerable Sariputta explained these things to the monks, both unwholesome and wholesome. And then he said, when somebody abstained from killing living beings, taking what is not given, and also abstaining from misconduct in sensual pleasures, and also if someone abstained from false speech, malicious speech, harsh speech, and gossip, and then also if someone abstained from covetousness, ill will, and wrong view, in that way, that person can actually generate um, right view. When a noble disciple has thus understood the unwholesome and the root of the unwholesome, the wholesome and the root of the wholesome, then he can actually entirely abandon the underlying tendency to lust. Remember, this underlying tendency to lust is something very difficult to get rid of. So if you keep practicing this um, dasa kusala, or 10 wholesome deeds, we can entirely abandon the underlying tendency to lust. And then we can abolish the underlying tendency to aversion. No lust, no aversion. Lust is raga, aversion is dosa, or anger. And then also he can extirpate the underlying tendency to the view and conceit, I am. So we all think this body is me, and me, myself, is something that we are constantly building ever since we are born into this world. Until the very last moment of our life, we think, this is me, this is my body, this is myself, this is my family, my mother, my father, my property, my car, everything. So we think me, that conceit, I am, that can trigger so many other defilement. And the person who continues to practice these 10 wholesome deeds can extirpate this underlying tendency to the view and conceit, I am. And also, by abandoning ignorance and arousing true knowledge, he or she, here and now, makes the end of suffering. How wonderful is that? If you can do that, you actually not only trigger right view, but also you end your suffering right here, right now. That is the Buddha's advice. You can get rid of that suffering right here, right now. Okay. And having said that, Venerable Sariputta turned to the monks, and they were so happy. They were so happy. And Venerable um, the other venerables, they said, how happy we are with this wonderful teaching of Venerable Sariputta. Is there any other way, Venerable Sariputta, that we can learn about the right view? Then Venerable Sariputta explained, there are there are some other ways too, and that is um, that is noble disciples understand nutriment, the origin of nutriment, the cessation of nutriment, and the way leading to the cessation of nutriment, that is the Noble Eightfold Path. Nutriment is ahara. So when friends, a noble disciple understands nutriment, the origin of nutriment, the cessation of nutriment, and the way leading to cessation of nutriment, in that way also he can or she can, you can trigger Sammā Diṭṭhi right way. Interesting, right? How come, like the this thing about the food? How can we get rid of um, wrong view? How can we generate a right view? And how can we have a very straightforward, very clear view? How can we have an unwavering confidence in the Dhamma? And how can we uh, be confident of ourselves that we have arrived at this true Dhamma? By learning about the nutriment ahara. Very interesting. The sutta talks about that. So we have four kinds of nutriment, dear Dhamma friends. One is physical food as nutriment, like gross or subtle, like I would say like eatables and drinkables. Eatable food and drinkable drinks, they are all physical food. They are nutriment. And remember, like we as humans and also the animal realm, they use eatables and drinkables to survive this body. And depending on our position, like let's say um, compared to the other people, the kings or the presidents or some other very rich people in the world, and they have more subtle food compared to other poor people. They have more gross food, and you can continue to compare like the subtle and gross food even among humans. And same thing with the animals. Let's say like a lion or a very powerful animal can have the lion's share, and the other animals they mostly have the remaining flesh. So lions have more subtle food compared to other animals who have more grass food. So physical food as nutriment in this way can help us survive this body. And then there is another interesting, mostly we talk about like food, nutriment, we talk about this eatables and drinkables only, right? But in Buddhism, we talk about there are more nutriment, more food, more ahara to our samsara that helps us continue our samsara. Number two is contact, phassa, contact of six senses and objects. When we see a form, a rupa, um, through the eye, that becomes our food for the eye. When we listen to music, that will be the food for the ears. I know some of you may be more interested in music than the food, right? Some of you are so interested in these eatables and drinkables. You love, some people like really love to drink alcohol. They don't even want to eat food, they want to drink. And some people really like to go from one restaurant to the other, searching for different pleasures, different tastes. You try to find pleasure for your tongue in going to in traveling to many parts of the world sometime just to eat. There are people like that. They can go to different restaurants, almost the same food, but they see like different momentum, different vibe, different aura, and they feel pleasure in eating like that. And also drinking. People like drink maybe simple water or simple tea, or maybe different kinds of tea, or if you go to like other McDonald's or Starbucks or some other places, you also like to, find pleasure. So physical food. But the contact thing is totally different. And contacting like through the eye, through the ear, through the nose, through the tongue, through the body, and through even the mind. Remember, even the mind has food through the contact. Like mind cannot survive without the thoughts. So thought will be the food for the mind. And then again, number three is mental volition. Mental volition will be the karma that generates rebirth. So that will definitely be the food for our samsara. Consciousness. Consciousness that helps the sustenance of name and form, namarupa. Consciousness is vijnana. So vijnana ahara. And the third one is in Pali, mano sanchetana ahara, mano sanchetanika ahara, that is mental volition. Number four, consciousness, vijnana, is helpful to have this name and form survive. Without consciousness, name and form cannot survive. Name and form also, they are like mutual friends. One is like a blind person, the other one is like a crippled person. They cannot survive separately, but if they are together, the blind person takes the crippled person on his shoulder, the crippled person can see, the blind person can walk. So with the help of each other, they can go a long journey. That is about the name and form. But then again, for name and form to survive, we need to have consciousness, vijnana. And without consciousness, um, the body, this nama rupa cannot survive. So this again is another important teaching. So when a noble disciple understands this nutriment, the origin of nutriment, the cessation of nutriment, and the way lead into the cessation of nutriment, dear Dhamma friends, you can entirely abandon the underlying tendency to lust. You can abolish the underlying tendency to aversion. You can extirpate the underlying tendency to the view and conceit I am. Conceit the mana I am. Me, I, me, I, me, myself. That conceit, that mana can be extirpated. And also by abandoning ignorance, avidya, and arousing true knowledge, you can here and now makes the end of suffering. So again, by learning about this, you can also trigger right view. So the topic today is how to trigger right view. I already told you two ways to trigger right view. One is taking care of the 10 wholesome deeds, and two, like learning more about this different kinds of nutriment, ahara. That way we can actually get rid of this um, uh, samsara eventually. We can trigger the right view. When you have right view, you have long way to go in the samsara. So it's important again. Okay, and then there are actually 16. I'm not sure I can explain all of them, but I will try at least in a nutshell. Maybe in our Q&A session, if you have any question, of course you are welcome to ask. I think I have around some more minutes to explain a little bit more. So the third step, how to generate the right view, is about the Four Noble Truths. This is the general overall most popular explanation, definition of right view. That is, someone understands, a noble disciple understands suffering, the origin of suffering, the cessation of suffering, and the way leading to the cessation of suffering. That is Noble Eightfold Path. So suffering is the dukkha. Well, the Pali word dukkha has so many connotations, maybe not necessarily suffering, but many people have used the word suffering. It can be stress, it can be depression, or it can be distress, or it can be unsatisfactoriness. In many ways, people explain the word suffering. But I would like to say, like, if you have difficulty in understanding that, maybe have dukkha within parenthesis. So that will be more helpful. So if you know about the suffering, the origin of suffering, and the cessation of suffering, and the way leading to the cessation of suffering, um, then there is much more definite chance of getting the right view to you. So I think in another topic, maybe we should discuss about the Four Noble Truths. That's completely separate topic. But at least to have this powerful understanding of the Four Noble Truths is important. Remember, suffering is an integral part of us. Um, so we cannot separate our life from suffering. No matter how much we try, suffering will always be attached to us. Birth itself is suffering, right? And then getting old is suffering, and many things are suffering. And I'm going to talk about them later on, so I'm not going to explain here in detail. So suffering, and then some people try to get rid of suffering, they say. I think the Buddha said suffering is about understanding. Understanding the suffering is important. So abhinyayang abhinyatang means you understand the suffering in detail, to the point that you know everything is subject to change. And that way, I think um, we can see the root cause of suffering. Root cause of suffering would be the craving. We have the craving, the attachment, a very powerful defilement that all of us are connected to. So get rid of um, the craving. And this one is definitely, so suffering is not to be abandoned. Suffering is to be realized. Suffering is to be understood. And then craving, the root cause of suffering, is to be abandoned. And that is the tanha. Okay. Abhinyayang abhinyatang. Pahatabba is this one. And then in the third truth, it is the cessation of suffering. Nibbana or Nibbana or even Nirvana in Sanskrit. So Nirvana, vana means tanha or craving. Nirvana or Nibbana means complete absence of suffering. Remember, this is not to be born in another beautiful, fantastic world, in another realm. Nibbana is complete absence of craving. You can check yourself. Do you have craving? Do you have desire? Some form, somewhere? Then you are not in the Nibbana. If you don't have, you can be confidently saying, I don't have craving. I don't have attachment. I don't have any desire. Then you can say, yeah, there is a chance. But you need to yourself find it. Okay. So many different kinds of sufferings are explained here in the sutta. Many different kinds of suffering. So we will discuss more about that later. So the Venerable Sariputta say this suffering, birth is suffering, aging is suffering, sickness is suffering, death is suffering, and then also sorrow, lamentation, pain, grief, and despair is suffering. Not to obtain what one wants is suffering. In short, the five aggregates affected by clinging are suffering. And when one knows this suffering, then also the cause of suffering and the cessation of suffering and the path leading to the cessation of suffering, that is Noble Eightfold Path, and then that person can entirely abandon the underlying tendency to lust. He can entirely abolish the underlying tendency to aversion. He can extirpate the underlying tendency to the view and conceit I am. And by abandoning ignorance and arousing true knowledge, that person can here and now makes an end of suffering. So this is the other way of generating right view, triggering right view. In that way, he or she is of right view, whose view is straight, who has unwavering confidence in the Dhamma and has arrived in this true Dhamma. And then Venerable Sariputta explains other things too. Then Venerable monks were asking again, is there any other way, Venerable Sariputta, that we can generate right view? So these monks know Venerable Sariputta has more things in his store. So he would definitely be giving more explanation today. So the monks were really enthusiastic about learning more about Sammā Diṭṭhi, right view. And one of them or all of them can be helpful to all of us to attain right view. I think the most important thing for all of us is to find right view, to know about the right view, and to trigger right view, to generate right view. That should be the thing that we should try. Then only we can actually practice the Noble Eightfold Path. The rest of the factors. Remember, the first one is Sammā Diṭṭhi, right view. All the rest of the seven factors will follow right view. So right view is the key. If you don't have the right navigation, your destination will be confusing, will be more challenging, will be more difficulty. um, uh, like you might most probably get lost your way. So right view is therefore very interest, very important. And the next one, Venerable Sariputta explains, is aging and death, Jara Marana. This is another interesting talk explained here. Jara, Jati, Jati is birth, sorry, Jati and Jara. That is birth and decay. So when we have birth and decay, when we know about the birth and decay, the origin of birth and decay, the cessation of birth and decay, and the way leading to the cessation of birth and decay, then also we can actually get rid of lust, aversion, and the conceit I am, and then we can also abandon ignorance and arouse true knowledge to make end of suffering. In this way also, we can have the right view. We can have a very straightforward view, very clear view, and we can have unwavering confidence in the Dhamma. Remember, if you don't have the right view, your confidence in the Dhamma is not unwavering. It is more kind of wavering, shaky. Therefore, it is very important to have the right view. And then we can also feel one day very confidently, you can say, I am in the right path. I am in the true Dhamma. I have arrived the true Dhamma. You can feel it, you can sense it. You can be confident about that. In that way, this right view again is so important to all of us. So aging and death, birth and decay, and then again the death, then again the birth. So there are many explanations about this. I'm not going to explain today, maybe another day. Hopefully we can explain more. And the birth also, If you think of the birth, the origin of birth, cessation of birth, and the way leading to the cessation of birth, in that way also actually you can generate right view. Different kinds of births are explained. Andaja, like born out of egg, Jalabuja, born in the water, Sansedaja, and with the union of parents, and then also Upapatika, like in the Deva realm, Brahma realm, and also in the hell realm, sentient beings are born just like that. They just appear. That is called Upapatika. So different kinds of births are explained there. And if you know this thing, also you can entirely abandon the underlying tendency to lust. You can abolish the underlying tendency to aversion and extirpate the underlying tendency to view, conceit, I am. By abandoning ignorance and arousing true knowledge, you here and now can make an end of suffering. Okay, so similarly, the other factors of dependent origination are explained, like being or bhava, and also clinging or upadana, and then the other factors as well. Different kinds of clinging and all are explained, and then craving, tanha, and then also feeling, vedana. Okay, and then rest of the factors in the Paticca are explained here in this sutta. So when you have this, then you also can get rid of the wrong view and generate right view. And then again the contact, phassa, and nama rupa, and then the salayatana, sixfold sense base, and then all the other things are also explained here in the sutta. Mentality, materiality is nama rupa, and the consciousness is vijnana. 6 classes of consciousness are explained there. And then formation, sankhara, this is actually more to do with our karma. And then the rising of ignorance definitely is a very key factor here. And then last but not the least, it is about the canker, so the asavas. So there are again different kinds of asavas explained in this sutta, like kama asava, bhava asava, and avijja asava, dittha asava. So when Venerable Sariputta explained this, the monks were very happy. He said, if you try to generate your right view, this is the way you can achieve right view. If you work on your Noble Eightfold Path, if you are trying to achieve your final uh, nibbana, final liberation, this is the way you have to work on. So this is the first step, that is opening up the gate, opening up the right view. Okay, so with that, I hope I could cover up a little bit. Also, it is, I must say, it is having a lot of details and so many other things to explain. But during this limited time, I hope I could give some at least brief explanation about the right view. Please read this sutta, Sammā Diṭṭhi Sutta in Majjhima Nikaya, and you will get more details about this. And by the power of this Dhamma talk, may you all be well, happy, healthy. May all your family members, friends and relatives, teachers and elders, everyone in your community, everyone in your country, and everyone in the world be blessed by the Noble Triple Gem. May all devas, brahmas, or sentient beings also receive this merit, share this merit, be well, happy, healthy, safe, wherever you are.
Thank you so much, Venerable Bhante Sumitta, for this profound speech on comparative study on meditation methods. I'm sure all our Dhamma friends around the world were benefited today. We will take up your questions now, and we encourage you to post your questions in simple language through the Dhamma USA YouTube channel.
I think Sammā Diṭṭhi is something that we all always have to question. When you don't know the real vision, it will always be difficult. Now we see here in this sutta, whenever Sariputta talks about many different ways how to trigger right view, like through the practice of wholesome deeds, nutriments, and also about the Four Noble Truths, and then again the dependent origination factors, and then eventually the asavas. If you work on this, the cessation of it, and the root cause of it, and the final part, I mean the way lead into the cessation of it. Hopefully, that is the theory, but we need to maybe more clear about how to achieve this very, very important milestone in our samsara.
So, Tan Victoria asks, Bhante, in our daily life, in the morning since we wake up till we sleep, mostly we live with more unwholesome minded. Bhante, please explain how we can get rid of this situation. Thanks.
So everyone has to work, and also you have to engage in so many things in the world, right? When we have this mundane activities of life, it's so difficult to get the right view. It's so difficult to be in the right track. Sometimes, let's say, like you don't have a job, and then how do you get a good job? And you are talking about, you are focusing more on how to find money. Then again, like some people, I know some people, they are still concerned. Even if you are not having a lot of money, even when you are applying for many jobs, there are jobs, there are occupations in this world, lucrative jobs are there. But maybe some of them you have to be careful in selecting the right job for you. And there are some jobs that can generate more unwholesome actions. So maybe easy money jobs are there, right? um, in this world, like different kinds of jobs are there, easy money, but not necessarily following the precepts, not necessarily helping yourself or helping others in the world. Maybe they are more harmful to the world. In that way, you have to be careful. I think even though you are busy in your daily life, and please remember the precepts, please remember the 5 precepts. I highly recommend you observe 5 precepts. um, Read these precepts word by word and understand the meaning of it every single day. The more you read it every single day, you talk to yourself, and you will understand how important it is to practice this Dhamma. And within this, the right path, right view, you will have a good job. And hopefully, when you work on these 5 precepts, I think even though it is very difficult or busy lifestyle, you still can get rid of those unwholesome minded things, right? You will be happy. Oh, I did not kill anyone, I did not harm anyone today, I did not steal anything today, and I also did not engage in any other unwanted sexual misconduct today, and I didn't tell lies today. How wonderful. You can give a guarantee. You can look back into yourself for the rest of the day, and you think, oh, I have not done anything wrong today. I have not taken drinks and drugs that cause intoxication or heedlessness. Can you confidently say that you did it today? Can you do that? And that way you continue to be happy. You continue to be happy. And this is what you need to do. Be confident about your practice. Be confident about the five precepts as a layperson that you do. Then I think your life will be much more comfortable and more happier.
Thank you, Bhante, for that. Yeah, that was a really good explanation. Here's one from Savita Ramtheke. What harm will there be due to lack of right vision?
Well, if you don't have right vision, your entire journey will be in a disarray. Everything will be unorganized. Everything will be messed up, right? Just like I said, like if you have the navigation, you will go to your destination as fast as you can, and avoiding all the traffic, you can go to the right destination. Imagine you don't have the navigation, how much troublesome it will be. Like, let's say you want to um, ride from New York City to Washington DC without navigation, and if you have never been to through that path, it will be so difficult, right? It'll always be difficult. But if you have the navigation, it will be a smooth journey. If you don't have it, you will take the wrong exits, you will ask many people and then come back and then go again, and so many wrong exits and entrances and many different paths, and you will be messed up. So remember, knowing the right path is so important. Knowing the vision, Sammā Diṭṭhi, right view, is so important. That is why we need to know about these things. We need to know about the 10 unwholesome deeds to practice the 10 wholesome deeds. We need to know about the 4 nutriments to get rid of them. Because if you continue to feed, you will sustain. And if you stop providing supplies, these unnecessary things will not grow, will not survive. And we are continuing to provide supplies. That is why we are in the samsara, right? And then again, the other things like about the craving, the attachment, the clinging, all these things can be part of it. So it's important that we have the right view. Otherwise, the harm can be detrimental. Remember, you and I are in this samsara for such a long time. How do we get rid of this? We are all enjoying sometimes. Okay, suffering is good. Okay, sometimes it can happen. And so we continue to enjoy without knowing the true meaning of our life. We just do this and that without knowing the destination, without knowing the intended outcome. If you don't have a vision, a very clear mission and vision, it will be difficult to find success even in your mundane life. So, let alone the spiritual journey, spiritual goal, right?
Yes, thank you for that, Bhante. I guess I do have a question about what's a good practice of reminding the mind of how to be more mindful and like practicing mindfulness throughout the day, and also how to also, I guess, like filter out like extremely worldly views that doesn't really align with the Dhamma.
Hmm. So to be mindful, I think you use the right word, like how to be mindful throughout the day. um, how to be mindful throughout the day? I think be mindful.
Yeah.
Every time be mindful. That is the only way. So then I think there are also techniques that we can use. Some of the things like bhavanas, like anapanasati bhavana, for example, is a wonderful way to be mindful, practice mindfulness. Let's say like You focus on your breathing in and breathing out, right? And this is a training that you gain how to be mindful throughout your day. And sometimes all every one of us actually breathe even when we are sleeping. So you can be mindful when you are sleeping, what you don't know. But then when you are alive, try to be mindful. I guess it is also not possible, humanly not possible for many mundane people when they are engaged in so many other things, right? For example, if you are a student, or if you are someone who is living a very busy work schedule, you still can be mindful. Maybe I think the best way is every single day, practice a little bit, practice a little bit every single day. Sit and meditate on your anapanasati. And also you can practice other meditation methods like um, Buddha Anusati or Metta Bhavana, loving kindness meditation. These are also very wonderful. There are many other meditations too, like walking meditation is a really good one. This way, you can actually find yourself be in mindfulness mode. And when you regularly practice, you can be in touch with the mindfulness. But if you don't do that, you don't know what you do. You just open your eyes and enjoy the rest of the world, whatever happens in the world, and you don't really care what is happening, right? But what is happening within, you forget yourself. You are so much engrossed with the worldly things happening around outside. But if you look into yourself, close your eyes, look into yourself, talk to yourself in your meditation, you can fix many things. You can be in mindfulness practice every single time. That will actually help you more. I'm sure Tinuri practices meditation, so you know how important it is to practice meditation, and you also know when you do not practice meditation, how easy for you to get distracted. In this
Yeah.
world, there are many things to be distracted, right? So do not give up the practice. Keep practicing the meditation. And also, I think meditation is for you to improve your theory. I think the sitting meditation is to improve your theory. Most important thing is you need to apply that theory in your day-to-day life. This is the most important thing. I always say that. Like sometimes when you are angry, things happen. Like when you might be angry with your parents, or you might be angry with your friends, or employees, or whosoever, co-workers. You might be angry. Sometimes it can happen. You might lose your temper. Then at that moment you need to also practice. Close your eyes, take a good long deep breath, and reflect on the emotion that you have. Read your mind on the spot. I think that TikTok meditation can also be very helpful. Yeah, that is why I always say, like, when you are disturbed, use this formula. It's okay. I'm okay. May he be well, happy, healthy. If someone blames you and someone yells at you, it's okay. That person yells at me. I'm not going to be impacted by that. So I am okay. And I also want to send loving kindness to that person. May he be well, happy, healthy. May she be well, happy, healthy. May they be well, happy, healthy. Whenever you find some uncomfortable stage, situation, please use this. It's okay. I'm okay. May he be well, happy, healthy. May she be well, happy, healthy. May they be well, happy, healthy. And I am confident, I'm sure you will be fine. You will be so happy and confident of your practice.
Thank you for that, Bhante. Yeah, that was really helpful. I am sure all our Dhamma friends around the world will benefit today. With that, we conclude today's Dhamma sharing, and we look forward to meeting you with more insightful Dhamma sharings in the coming weeks. Let's keep our palms together close to our hearts and pay respect to Venerable Bhante Sumitta with 3 sadhus. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. May you always be well, happy, healthy, dear Venerable. Let's also keep our palms together close to our heart and pray that by the power of all the dana, sila, bhavana activities that we all have performed during our lifetime and during our whole course of samsara, become one united power and may it be shared with all the celestial beings. May all the wonderful celestial beings, including respectful Brahmas and Devas, and all sentient beings, receive this merit and share this merit and be happy and healthy wherever they are. May all your departed ones, including the late Acharya Upajaya's parents and all other ancestors, all the departed ones also receive this merit, be well, happy, healthy, and safe wherever they are. May all of us be able to live life peacefully, comfortably, and with good health. May all of us and all sentient beings be able to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana, the absolute peace and happiness at the end of samsara. Thinking thus, please keep your palms together close to your heart and say 3 sadhus. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.